Welcome back, JF coin lovers and collectors from around the world, to another exciting and mind-blowing episode all about rare, valuable, and ultra-collectible US coins that could be hiding right in your pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about, mysterious, and surprising coins ever minted, the 1959 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This tiny copper coin has an incredible story, fascinating history, and even more unbelievable value that might shock you. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might want to start checking every penny you come across. You never know when a simple cent could turn into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1959 Lincoln penny marks a major turning point in U.S. coin design. It was the very first year that the Lincoln Memorial reverse replaced the famous wheat ears design that had been used on pennies since 1909. That's right, the 1959 penny introduced a completely new look, making it a historic issue. It symbolizes a transition from the old classic wheat design to a modern style, showing the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., where if you look very closely with a magnifying glass, you can even see the tiny statue of Abraham Lincoln sitting inside the memorial. That small detail makes this design one of the most admired in American coinage history. Now, this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which you can identify by the little D mint mark right below the date on the obverse side, just under Lincoln's shoulder. The Denver Mint produced a massive number of these pennies, more than 1 billion pieces in total, so at first glance, you might think it's a common coin. But as every serious collector knows, within these billions, there are special, ultra-rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples that can be worth an incredible amount of money. Some of them have sold for hundreds of dollars, and in rare cases, even thousands at auction. Let's talk about what makes the 1959 penny so interesting to collectors and how you can tell if yours is worth big money. First, the most valuable 1959 pennies are those in mint condition, bright red, uncirculated, and showing no signs of wear. Collectors often describe these coins with terms like red, red-brown, and brown, bien, depending on their color and shine. A full red, lustrous penny with sharp details can easily fetch high prices among numismatists. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC and MS65 or higher can reach values around $442 or even more, depending on demand and market trends. But what really adds to the thrill of this coin is the existence of mysterious and controversial error types. One of the most famous stories in U.S. coin history involves the so-called 1959 wheat reverse penny, a coin that allegedly features the older wheat ears reverse instead of the new Lincoln Memorial design. Although its authenticity has been debated for years, even the rumor of its existence sparked massive interest in the 1959 pennies. It's a legendary story that keeps collectors on the hunt, searching through rolls of old pennies hoping to find that one incredible mistake that could change their lives. Now let's discuss the composition. The 1959 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish tone that collectors love. It weighs 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. The obverse features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, shows the Lincoln Memorial with the words E pluribus unum above and United States of America and 1 cent below. Every tiny detail on this coin tells part of America's story, a symbol of history, freedom, and change. Now here's where the excitement truly begins. Even though most circulated 1959 pennies might only be worth a few cents, collectors pay top dollar for rare errors, double dies, or perfectly preserved mint-state coins. For instance, a coin with strong die doubling on the date, the mint mark, or the letters of Liberty and In God We Trust can easily reach hundreds of dollars in value. In fact, the market has seen pristine examples of the 1959 penny graded MS67 red sell for as high as $442 or more, depending on the auction house and the intensity of the bidding war. Why do collectors value it so much? Because it represents the end of one coinage era and the beginning of another. It's not just about copper, it's about history. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was the face of the penny for 50 years, from 1959 to 2008, before it was replaced again in 2009 by a series of designs celebrating Lincoln's life. So the 1959 D penny stands as the very first issue of that 50-year legacy, making it both historic and sentimental. Every serious collector wants at least one pristine example in their collection. Another reason the 1959 D penny captures so much attention is its affordability combined with its potential. You could find one in circulation today, polish it up, and if it's in excellent condition, it could be worth far more than face value. Many coin hunters report discovering near-mint examples in old coin jars, bank rolls, or inherited collections, so it pays to look closely at every single coin. A magnifying glass, good lighting, and patience could lead you to a small fortune hidden in plain sight. When it comes to grading, professional certification makes a huge difference in market value. A raw ungraded coin might sell for a few dollars, but the same coin certified as MS-67 by PCGS or NGC could skyrocket to over $400 or even more. Collectors trust these grades because they guarantee authenticity and preserve the coin's condition for future generations. It's an investment not just in metal, but in history. Now let's talk about the current market. The 1959 D penny, especially in high mint state grades, continues to rise in collector value due to growing demand and nostalgia among new coin enthusiasts. As more people start collecting Lincoln cents, early issues like the 1959 D are becoming harder to find in top condition. Recent market records show sales reaching around $442 for coins in MS-67 red, with proof-like surfaces and no contact marks. That's an extraordinary price for a coin originally worth just 1 cent. So next time you see a 1959 D penny in your change, don't dismiss it. Check it carefully. Look for crisp details, bright red shine, and any signs of doubling or mint errors. Even if you think it looks ordinary, it might be hiding a rare secret. Remember, every great coin discovery started with someone curious enough to take a second look. To sum it all up, the 1959 D Lincoln penny is far more than a small copper coin. It's a piece of American history, a bridge between two eras, and a treasure that still captures the hearts of collectors around the world. From its bold new design debut to its rare era mysteries and incredible auction values, this coin continues to amaze and inspire. And with a market value that can reach up to $442 or more for high-grade examples, it proves that even the smallest coin can carry an enormous story. So, keep your eyes open, your magnifier ready, and your curiosity alive, because you might just find a 1959 D penny that turns a single cent into hundreds of dollars. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode about valuable coins hiding in your pocket. Thank you for watching, and happy collecting! Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underrated coins of American history, the 1974 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that might be sitting quietly in your change jar right now, but could actually be worth a lot of money. Yes, up to $442 or even more, depending on its condition and rarity. So sit tight, because this story will make you look at every penny in your pocket with brand new excitement. Let's start from the beginning. The 1974 Lincoln penny belongs to one of the most iconic coin series in U.S. history, the Lincoln cent, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This design replaced the Indian head cent and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic image. The obverse shows the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse side, during 1974, still carried the Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo that had been in use since 1959. Every detail on this small coin, from Lincoln's thoughtful gaze to the delicate lettering of "In God We Trust" and "E Pluribus Unum," tells a story of national pride and the evolution of American coinage. Now, what makes the 1974 penny so special, and why are collectors paying hundreds of dollars for it? The key lies in its metal composition, mint marks, and errors. In 1974, the U.S. Mint experimented with different metals due to the rising cost of copper. Traditionally, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but that year, the mint produced experimental aluminum pennies to test a cheaper alternative. These aluminum cents were never officially released to the public, but a few of them mysteriously escaped from the mint, becoming legendary rarities worth tens of thousands of dollars today. Although the regular 1974 copper pennies are the ones most people find, certain varieties and mint-state examples have gained exceptional value because of their condition, rarity, and collector demand. The 1974 Lincoln penny was struck at three major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your penny has no mint mark below the date, it was made in Philadelphia. If there's a small d, it came from Denver, and an S indicates San Francisco. Most 1974 pennies are common, but here's where things get interesting. A 1974 penny in perfect uncirculated or proof condition can fetch surprising prices. For example, a brilliant red 1974 S-proof penny with full original luster can sell for hundreds of dollars, while a high-grade 1974 D penny graded MS67 by a top coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can reach values of $442 or more in today's collector market. That's right, a 1-cent coin multiplying its worth by over 40,000% simply because of its rarity and quality. But there's more to it than just condition. The world of coin collecting thrives on details, and tiny errors or variations can turn a regular penny into a fortune. Some 1974 Lincoln pennies have die breaks, double die obverse features, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks that make them unique. These minting errors happen accidentally, but collectors love them because no two error coins are exactly the same. One example is the 1974 double die penny, where parts of the lettering or Lincoln's profile appear doubled under magnification. These can easily fetch several $100s depending on visibility and demand. Always check your coins carefully under good lighting. Sometimes a small detail can change your life. Now let's talk about history and context. In 1974, the United States was going through economic challenges, inflation, and major political change during the final years of the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal. The mint was under pressure to cut costs, which is why the idea of switching from copper to aluminum came up. Over 1.5 million aluminum cents were produced for testing before being melted down again. Only a few escaped destruction, and today, they are considered illegal to own since they were never officially issued, but their story adds incredible value and intrigue to the 1974 penny series. Just imagine, somewhere out there, a single aluminum penny from 1974 could be worth a fortune if it were ever legally sold. In terms of the coin's appearance, the 1974 Lincoln cent features a deep reddish copper color when freshly minted, although many have turned brown over time due to oxidation. A red or red-brown penny with full mint luster will always bring higher prices at auction. Collectors carefully preserve these coins in protective holders to maintain their shine and prevent scratches, because even the smallest nick can reduce the value significantly. So, what should you look for if you want to know whether your 1974 penny is worth more than 1 cent? First, check the mint mark: Philadelphia, no mark; Denver or San Francisco. Second, examine the coin's color and luster. Red uncirculated examples are most valuable. Third, look closely for doubling, misprints, or unusual features. If you suspect you have something special, it's worth having your coin graded professionally. A certified grade like MS66, MS67, or PR69 can dramatically increase the coin's market price because it guarantees authenticity and condition to buyers and collectors. Now let's talk about market trends. Over the years, coin collecting has exploded in popularity. People have begun realizing that their pocket change might hold hidden treasures. The 1974 Lincoln penny remains a favorite among collectors because it bridges the gap between traditional copper cents and the experimental era of aluminum coins. Today, depending on condition, a 1974 penny can range in value from just 1 cent in circulated condition to several $100s in gem mint state. Some rare varieties and proof strikes have even crossed the $442 mark, and special errors have sold for even higher. As time passes and pristine examples become scarcer, values continue to rise steadily, Every coin is a time capsule. When you hold a 1974 penny, you're holding a piece of 1970s America, gasoline shortages, disco music, new technology, and a changing economy. This small piece of metal witnessed history unfold, and now it offers collectors a tangible connection to that era. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about history, art, and discovery. So next time you see a 1974 penny in your hand, don't let it slip away without a second look. That small copper coin might carry more value than you ever imagined. Whether you're a new collector or an experienced numismatist, it's worth taking the time to explore your change, check your coins, and learn their stories. The 1974 Lincoln 1-cent penny proves that sometimes, the smallest things in life can hold the greatest treasures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies and hidden coin treasures, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next video about valuable coins, U.S. Mint secrets, and coin collecting tips that can help you turn everyday change into extraordinary finds. Share this video with your friends and family because who knows, maybe one of them is holding a fortune in their pocket right now. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember every penny has a story, and every story could be worth a lot of ammo. Today, we are talking about the 1987 1-cent Lincoln penny. Yes, that small copper coin sitting quietly in your drawer, purse, or jar could be worth hundreds of dollars, even up to $442 depending on its type, condition, and hidden details that most people overlook. So sit tight, because we're about to uncover the full story, value, and history behind this seemingly ordinary yet potentially extraordinary 1987 Lincoln penny. Let's start with the background of this beautiful coin. The 1987 Lincoln cent was minted by the United States Mint as part of the long-running Lincoln penny series that began way back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin carries the legendary portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, one of the most recognized and respected designs in the history of American coinage. On the obverse side, you'll see Lincoln facing right with the word liberty to his left, the motto "I in God we trust" above, and the year 1987 boldly placed below his image. The reverse side features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to replace the earlier wheat ears design. This reverse was created by Frank Gasparo, and if you look closely, you can even spot a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a remarkable detail that many people never notice. Now, let's talk about the fascinating production and composition of the 1987 Lincoln penny. Unlike older pennies that were made mostly of copper, the 1987 1-cent coin was produced from a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change began in 1982 due to rising copper prices, and it's an important clue for collectors because it affects weight, durability, and long-term color tone. The official weight of the 1987 penny is 2.5 grams. If you happen to find one that's heavier, it could be an era coin struck on an older copper planchet, which can skyrocket its value dramatically. In 1987, 3 mints produced these pennies: the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint marked with AD, and the San Francisco Mint, which produced proof coins with an S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 4.6 billion coins, Denver made about 4.5 billion, and San Francisco created a smaller number of highly polished proof coins specifically for collectors. But here's the twist: not all coins from this year are ordinary. Among these billions of pieces, a few rare varieties and mint errors slip through, and those are the ones that can be worth hundreds of dollars or even more. Collectors and coin hunters have reported 1987 Lincoln pennies with off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, and plating errors. One of the most desirable varieties is the double die obverse, where the lettering or Lincoln's features appear doubled under magnification. These coins can fetch between $50 and $442 depending on the sharpness of the doubling and the overall condition. Another exciting find is the 1987 D with misaligned dies or broad-struck errors, where the design spills off the coin's edge. These visually dramatic errors always attract high bidder interest in online auctions. Now, let's talk about the market value. As of today, the average circulated 1987 penny is still worth 1 cent in everyday transactions, but in the collector's world, condition is everything. A regular uncirculated 1987 Lincoln penny in mint state condition can bring anywhere from $5 to $20 depending on grade. But the top quality coins graded MS67 and above by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC have sold for stunning prices. Some 1987D and 1987 no-mint mark examples in pristine red color and perfect luster have fetched prices between $150 and $442 at auction. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially with deep cameo contrast, can reach up to $100 or more in top condition. So, how can you tell if your 1987 penny might be worth a fortune? Start by examining the coin under a bright light and magnifier. Check the edges, the date, and all the letters for doubling or irregularities. Look for any mint errors like cracks, off-centering, or missing details. Next, analyze the color. Coins that maintain their full red brilliance are more valuable than brown or dull ones. Also, handle your coins carefully with gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints that can reduce value. Now let's add a bit of history and fun to this treasure hunt. The Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a symbol of American history and pride. Each small cent connects generations of collectors, historians, and ordinary citizens. The 1987 penny represents a period when the U.S. Mint was shifting fully into modern production technologies while still honoring a timeless design over 7 decades old. Every detail tells a story, from Brenner's original initials on the shoulder of Lincoln to Gasparo's careful engraving of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Many collectors love the 1987 penny because it bridges the classic and modern eras of coinage. It's old enough to carry nostalgia yet modern enough to still be found in change. That's why checking your pocket change, old jars, and inherited coin collections can truly pay off. There are countless stories of people discovering valuable pennies sitting unnoticed for decades, only to realize they owned a small treasure worth hundreds. If you ever find a flawless, brilliant red 1987 penny with sharp details, consider getting it professionally graded. The difference between an ungraded coin and a certified mint state example can be hundreds of dollars. Grading not only verifies authenticity but also protects your coin in a sealed holder that preserves its condition for decades to come. Let's not forget about proof coins. The 1987's proof pennies are absolute works of art, struck with mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. These were made only for collectors, and while most are worth between $5 and $20, the ones in perfect PR70 condition can reach up to $200 or more at auctions. Their crisp details and shiny finish make them a must-have for anyone serious about collecting Lincoln cents. So, the next time you come across a 1987 Lincoln penny, don't dismiss it as just a small piece of copper-plated metal. Take a closer look, because you might just be holding a hidden gem worth hundreds of dollars. Whether it's a rare error, a high-grade uncirculated piece, or a stunning proof coin, this humble 1 cent can be a reminder that treasures often come in the smallest forms. And that's the story of the 1987 Ultra Lincoln penny, a coin rich in history, beauty, and unexpected value. From its origins in the heart of American craftsmanship to its shining presence in collectors' vaults, this penny proves that every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth far more than its face value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable Lincoln cents, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another hidden treasure alert. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever found a rare penny in your change. Your story might just inspire the next big discovery. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, 1 cent can change everything. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from modern U.S. history, the 2004 Lincoln penny, also known among collectors as the 1 cent coin that hides some ultra-rare surprises worth hundreds of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could be worth up to $442 or even more in today's collector market. So make sure to watch till the end, because we're not just talking about an ordinary coin. We're uncovering the story, the minting secrets, the varieties, and the value that make the 2004 Lincoln penny a small piece of copper magic. Let's start from the beginning. The 2004 Lincoln cent continues the legacy of the Lincoln penny that first appeared in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was revolutionary because it was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person, not a symbol or an allegorical figure. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has evolved in metal composition and design, but the 2004 penny stands out because it's one of the last years before major design changes that came in 2009 to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday. Now, let's talk about what the 2004 penny is made of. Most people think pennies are pure copper, but that's not the case anymore. Since 1982, pennies have been made of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper plating. The 2004 penny follows that modern formula, but despite its humble materials, this coin has become a collector's favorite because of its striking mint varieties and era coins that can be worth serious money. There were three main versions of the 2004 Lincoln penny minted: the 2004 Philadelphia mint marked with a small P, the 2004 Denver mint with a D, and the 2004 San Francisco proof coin with an S. While billions were produced, not all pennies are created equal. Some have minting errors, die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, or missing elements that dramatically boost their value. In fact, these are the coins that can turn a 1-cent piece into a $442 treasure point. One of the most talked about examples is the 2004 double die obverse penny. If you look closely at Lincoln's date, or the word Liberty, you might see doubling in the lettering. This isn't damage, it's a true mint error caused during the striking process, and collectors go crazy for it. A sharp, uncirculated 2004 double die penny in pristine condition has been known to sell for hundreds of dollars in auctions. The rarest varieties graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC have reached prices of around $442, depending on condition and demand. But let's not forget about the ultra Lincoln penny nickname. This term is often used by collectors to describe coins in ultra-high mint state or proof quality, meaning the coin looks practically untouched since the day it was struck. These coins have a deep mirror-like shine, sharp details, and absolutely no wear. A 2004 Ultra Lincoln cent from the San Francisco Mint, graded PR 69 or PR 70, can command impressive prices from collectors, especially if it's in its original packaging. These ultra coins are what truly excite the numismatic world. Now, let's dive into the story behind the coin's design. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, the same design that has honored the 16th President of the United States for over a century. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To his left is the word, "Liberty," and to the right the date, 2004. Each of these details holds meaning. Lincoln's calm and determined expression reminds us of his leadership during one of the most challenging times in American history, the Civil War. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity, democracy, and Lincoln's enduring legacy. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, an incredible detail that many people never notice. What makes this coin especially interesting is its timing in history. By 2004, the U.S. Mint was already preparing for the new designs that would arrive in 2009. This makes 2004 one of the last few years of the classic memorial design before it was replaced by the four-part Lincoln Bicentennial Reverse Series. Collectors often view these last memorial pennies as the end of an era, a closing chapter in one of America's longest-running coin designs. But what about the market value? Here's where things get exciting. The average 2004 penny you find in circulation is still worth 1 cent, but in uncirculated or high mint state condition, the story changes fast. A mint state MS65 2004 D Lincoln penny can sell for between $10 and $25. A coin graded MS67 can reach up to $200 or more. Proof coins from San Francisco, especially those graded PR 70 Deep Cameo, have been sold for $400 to $442 or even higher when collectors are eager to complete their sets. And if you find one with a dramatic mint error like a clipped planchet, die crack through Lincoln's face, or off-center strike, that's when you might hold a real gem worth hundreds. Let's also talk about how to identify if your 2004 penny might be special. Start by examining the coin under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and In God We Trust for signs of doubling or extra lines. Check the edges for unusual shapes or cuts. Look for any missing letters or extra metal near the rim. Any of these could signal a valuable mint error. And don't forget to check the coin's color. Bright red luster pennies are worth more than dull brown ones, especially when graded. Now, you might be wondering, why do collectors pay so much for these coins? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. Even though billions were minted, only a handful have survived in flawless, untouched condition. Combine that with the thrill of finding a mint error, and you have a recipe for a collector's dream. People love the idea of discovering hidden treasures in their pocket change, a simple penny that could pay your bills or even more. Before we wrap up, let's look at some fun facts. The total mintage of 2004 pennies from all mints combined exceeds 8 billion coins. If you stack them all, they'd reach into outer space. Yet among those billions, only a few hundred high-grade or error coins have reached collector fame. That's what makes this coin such a fascinating hunt. You never know when you might stumble upon a $442 treasure lying quietly in your CoinJar.so. Next time you get change from the store, don't overlook those pennies. Check the year, check the mint mark, and check the details. You could be holding a piece of history, a coin that connects over a century of American heritage, art, and economy. The 2004 Lincoln penny might be small, but it carries the story of a great leader, the evolution of coinage, and the timeless thrill of discovery. If you enjoyed learning about this amazing 1-cent 2004 Ultra Lincoln penny and its hidden value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest coin videos. Share this with your friends and fellow collectors. You might inspire someone to start their own treasure hunt today. Thank you for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and every story could lead you to fortune. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing that your next penny could be worth a lot of money.